welcome to this week's episode of MOAR Tech. I'm your host, Michael Amogan. My head is cut off. Let's fix that. There we go. So, this week on MOAR Tech, we're going to be actually talking about, well, two sets of products. One from Google, because they had their more recent hardware event. That was maybe about 1 or 2 weeks ago. And then Razer also came out with some new stuff as well. And so we're going to be talking about that. Chris is going to be on a little bit later. He just has some personal life stuff that happened. And he should be on. And so expect him to join in later. As the reason why we're late, just some personal life stuff that happened. And we do. I apologize for that. And simply put, get on with it. So, part of the thing that Google really started with is, how do we even do this? They started with a lot of leaks. A lot of leaks about their Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL phones. So much so that people were wondering if they were trolling everyone, and this was some giant conspiracy. It kind of turns out that it wasn't. And, I mean, it was interesting, to say it mildly. Mainly because a lot of people saw when essentially some of the devices got placed into the black market over in Russia, and that wasn't really cool. People were selling the phones beforehand and losing them in taxis and stuff like that. And then it's a matter of, so not only have we already seen what the device is and see most of its design and stuff like that, and sure, they can run out with the software. It's, how do I put this? It lost a lot of the lust factor in the phone, because it turned out that the notch rumor that we had heard for so long was actually true, and that's not what people wanted to really hear. They wanted no notch. That wasn't. Yeah, they wanted no notch. They wanted the same way they wanted a headphone jack, and people were already upset that Google seemed to have been doing this whole copy Apple kind of thing going on here, and that wasn't really that cool. But around the same time, a little bit later on, Google started asking content creators, very popular YouTube vloggers and stuff like that, for clips of their reviews based on what they've seen. And so thus the conspiracy deepens further. Because why would they want their clips if not to say, ha, gotcha? Then they started selling the phones in China. And it's like, wow, maybe this isn't them trolling us. Maybe they just sucked at this set of devices and keeping them secured from leaks and stuff like that. Then the actual event happened. And everything we'd already seen came true. Like, we still had hope for something called the Pixel Ultra, which would have been like the god tier type of phone for Android. Didn't happen. We still ended up with the exact same phones, and admittedly, a lot of places are gushing out about them. Or are they? See, the reason why I asked that question is simply because of the fact that, sure, you've got these places that are giving their reviews and saying it's a great phone. And that's mainly because of a few things. One, the Google Pixel has become, using Chris's phrases of stuff, the Pixel is a camera with a smartphone body. Just because of how it's been rated for the past year as one of the, if not the top smartphone camera, period. It's not streaming on YouTube? It should have been. Like, I saw it there just a second ago. Check that. That stream now says I'm live. Been on for 12 minutes now. Link for you. Okay, so try that link right there. That should hopefully get you to be able to watch it. Check it myself. Yep, I'm on. Yeah, so I'm on. So you can talk to me there. On. If you didn't get that link, okay, great, you got it. Now, I do want to say, if you're having problems watching this, do check out it on YouTube. Twitch has some pretty bad transcoding, unless I have like a number of people already watching, so that doesn't really help. YouTube has the transcoding since that's Google, and everywhere else typically streams it pretty good. I don't know what Twitch is on, but getting back to the focus of stuff, they brought out the device, and it's people are raving about it, so on and so forth. Now the thing about it is, it's fast because it's been optimized by Google for Google fans, if that makes sense. Mainly because, well, they are the company that's designing the hardware, very similar to what Apple does for their iPhones, and so they can make their phone work better. So, and that's always been the thing behind the Nexus, which is the predecessor to the Pixel. It was always meant to be a cheap, well, more affordable phone that gave great hardware and great specs, and pretty much was supposed to lead the way with how smartphones should go. The Pixels kind of changed that in a number of ways since they started switching to that. They went more expensive for starters, along with a lot of other changes that people aren't necessarily liking compared to how much they loved their Nexus. That said, there are still good things to say about the Pixel 3 XL, in my opinion. I have no idea what Chris is going to say. Gets on. But it is one of the top-notch phones of the year. It probably will be one of the top-notch phones of next year as well, especially when it comes to the camera quality, especially since there are still features in there that have yet to actually be fully launched out, like Night Scene, which essentially makes your photos, compared to the iPhone at low light and pretty much nighttime, seem like they're daytime. It's kind of like if you were to try and take photos in Times Square in New York at night. If you've ever taken a look at photos from that, it almost always looks like you've taken it during daytime, just because of how crisp that. Oh wow, I've actually used the word that everyone else is using, crisp. Yeah, crispy. It comes out crispy. If I already went that way, I may as well continue with it. And you get some really good photos. They've also got something like the new type of digital zoom, where it uses the actual shaking of your hands to enhance what you would typically get a really blurry zoomed photo of. And so it gets more details, it makes it a little bit sharper, and makes it a little bit clearer, and helps improve your digital zoom, even though you don't actually have a physical zoom. They're still rocking the one camera in the back, which proved very well for them last year, even competing against 2 and 3 camera phones, and they were still the top camera due to DxO marks from a lot of people. There's still some debate, whether the 10S is better than it, and it's subjective. Sometimes it's due to like particular lighting, particular saturation. Um, exactly, Juan. Like night vision. Wow. Yeah, night vision's not really that great. It's really blurry, and low light on a whole just screws up phones. Just period. So this is a really good turning for them, especially from what they showed during the event. They actually even then just recently did a joint effort with Jimmy Kimmel and Eminem, where they went to the Empire State Building and used Eminem's song Venom and pretty much made a music video using only the Google Pixel 3 XL as the video camera. That is a very impressive and smart move, especially when you're going against a company that people have been saying was one of the best phones as the best camera and the most used camera, which is the iPhone. And people were saying, oh, we can do videos with it and we can like shoot movies and stuff like that. And here you are actually shooting a music video on using a very popular rapper, Eminem, and you're showing it on a very, very popular late night TV show, which is for a lot of adults who can actually afford this device. And so that was, in my opinion, genius. And I'm actually a little curious. Like, I wonder how many views that Venom that video has actually hit right now. See, Eminem music 2 days ago. YouTube, 7-minute long video has been watched 2,768,192 views in 2 days, with over 238,000 likes, 1.5 thousand dislikes. That is smart. That is insanely smart. Like this was just brilliant on their part. I can't say it any other way. Like, this is what you should do to really promote a phone when you're showing off the camera qualities. And then they started adding in all the extra stuff, like improvements to Google Assistant, how it's going to be able to, like they're going to be rolling out the duplex thing soon, so you can actually set appointments at restaurants and hair salons and all that kind of stuff in select cities, starting in the United States and then slowly rolling out across the world. Which kind of sucks for persons like where I live, because I have a feeling that's probably not going to really roll out until it kind of just like maybe 2 or 3 years down the line. Which sucks. But it makes sense because, you know, they actually have to call. And so it's probably using like US numbers. And then certain international numbers, so on and so forth. So I can't be too annoyed by that. Now, that wasn't even it. The thing that got me about this stuff, and as much as I'm saying, like, I really do like what they did with the Pixel 3 XL, the thing about it is they did something that doesn't make sense for business, but makes sense in terms of your community. And that is that most of these features that I've been talking about so far are being rolled out to the Pixel 1 and the Pixel 2 as well much as they can do with the hardware inside those phones. So they probably won't be as great as the Pixel 3 XL, but they will still be pretty darn good. At least when it comes to the camera stuff, this AI stuff is probably going to work the exact same. They just slightly improved some of the hardware, like it has a new chip. I think it's the Snapdragon 845 instead of the 835 from the previous year. The camera is pretty much the same. It's more so, remember, Google is more about software. So the hardware for the camera hasn't really changed all that much. The screen is slightly bigger. slightly bigger battery, still no headphone jack. Sorry guys. And you know, like, how should I put that? Most of it is minuscule. It almost seems like Google is pretty much just focusing on software and improving that. They just rolled out a phone to help showcase the software behind it, at least this year. So if you have a Pixel 2 or Pixel 2 XL, I would honestly say hold back. Like, don't actually go anything with that right here and now. Just chill out and wait for next year's device. If you are gung-ho and you want the latest Pixel, then by all means go for it. Like, I can't stop you with that. But you know, that's my fair warning. I personally won't be looking at getting the Pixel 3. Chris has said he's not getting it, though. I mean, technically we both said we weren't getting the Pixel 2 XLs, and we still end up getting them. So there's not 100% guarantee there. But I mean, the upgrade for me is not that great, because I switched over from a Nexus E to the Pixel 2 XL. So there is that difference for me. I don't have that need. One of you may. But Google came out with some other stuff. They came out with one is saying that he supports Google. We need a rich competitor in the market. I agree. Like, we can't have everything Apple. We can't have everything Samsung. We need Google to be doing their own stuff as well. I just wish the price, they weren't following along with that price, like that $1,000 phone price. That's what's killing me. That is legit what is killing me right now. Like, if it was like a $400 to like $700 phone, I could get on that. Like, let's go. Take my cash, take my money. But yeah, Google came out with other stuff as well. So this is not just me ranting about the Pixel devices. One, they actually do have $100 phones. Like, I know there are Android devices that are like $60, $65, $85, like $100. They're out there. The quality in them, though, is debatable. That's the thing. I know Amazon had one that was on sale. That was a very basic phone, but with like a 6,000 milliamp battery. That's like insane. Like, you're not gonna find that even in high-end phones. That was going on sale for, I think, that day only for $100 or something like that. I could be wrong with the exact price, but I know that was there. Because when I saw the battery size in it, I just went, what the hell? What? Yeah, it's the rest of the hardware is pretty basic, so don't expect to be playing and winning Fortnite on that thing. But yeah, Google came out with some other stuff. They came out with their hub feature, which is a lot like the Amazon Echo Show, in my opinion. So it's a little weird, but it moves along well with what they already have in the market, which is the Google Home and the Google Home Mini. So this is the Google Home Hub. And what's nice about this, though, is that while it's imitating the Amazon Echo Show, because it has a tablet on it, and it pretty much works roughly the same way, like that. It allows you to control all of your connected home devices, much like what Apple does with their iPads and iPhones and stuff like that, where you can control using the Home Kit app and stuff like that. And so the fact that they actually have that built in and something that's central that you can actually manage from within your home is a really neat touch. That, along with the fact of what all else comes with it, I personally won't be getting it, but I can see where some people probably will. It'd be interesting to find out the numbers, but we probably won't ever get it. So I'm not too gung-ho for that. That said, The next thing that really came out was, and I quite literally said it on Twitter, like as I saw it, and Google actually responded back to me and said, like, if I had any questions, let me know. Well, let them know. They're there, waiting for my question. See you there, Google. Stalker. No, wow. Okay, that actually like goes into a little. Wow, that goes into a hole, like really deep. I forget what the exact terminology for that is, but it is a really, really nice device. And I used to have a device that came from Kickstarter, a tablet. I had a tablet that came from Kickstarter. It was made by some Google engineers who made a custom version of Android and pretty much made it so that it ran very similarly to a laptop, which I thought was awesome. Like that was exactly what I wanted. I wanted Android apps. I wanted to be able to run it like a laptop. It looked a lot like a Surface, a Microsoft Surface Pro. It had the keyboard like it. It was awesome. I still have it somewhere around it, but I don't know where that is. But it was made by a company called Jide. And back then when it came out, it was awesome. But they eventually did stop development on it, which is, you know, you always run the risk of with Kickstarters and crowdfunded stuff. So they eventually started going corporate. Stalker vibe doesn't suit me. I'm not the stalker, Jackie. Like I am not the stalker. Like Google is the stalker. Like they're the ones like sitting there waiting for me to talk. But I mean, that's a good thing. Like that means that they're interactive and they're trying to get people to actually go for this device, which I'm getting back into that. So essentially, I love this. I love the Jide device because of all the stuff that it could do. Plus, it ran things very similar to the Windows, where I could actually like open up stuff side by side, copy, paste, have all that good stuff, and I didn't have to actually run Windows. And I didn't have to like then install BlueStacks and all extra kind of stuff. What this does, which is the Google Slate, so that's the name for their tablet, is it does all of this already because it's running Chrome OS. It's not running Android. And that's something that actually brought a lot of contention to some places, because in this hardware event, Google didn't actually mention the word Android. They only mentioned the hardware names and Chrome OS. And for a long time now, people have known that there was something in the works called Fuchsia, which is kind of like a merge between Android and Chrome OS to become Fuchsia OS and become like one thing to run on everything. And that would take over everything. So, I mean, that was really good. That I'm talking, okay. Going back to the Slate. The fact that they actually did that they took pretty much the same ideas that people loved, I think was genius. So it's running, it has a very like professional design this time. It's not like the Pixel Book or anything like that. It's a tablet. You connect it to a dock. It has a stand in the back. The dock connects to the stand, the dock, and the keyboard are all connected, of course, and it runs the same way the Jide tablet did. You can open up Chrome OS stuff, which is stuff that's not just Android. You can run, because it's Chrome OS, you can also run Android apps. You can open them up side by side. You can actually use this thing like a laptop now, like just as an on-the-go laptop, just for like basic stuff, or even just to play games. But that surprised me, and so yeah, that's the reason why I said like this is probably going to replace my current tablet, which is the Jide. And then I saw the price. Then I saw the price. So, what is the price? Google Slate. If I go to the Google store, and I look at the price, there's a wait list where I can spend from $599. And let's click. If I click, oh, okay. I joined the wait list. I'll join the wait list for that, and look for the price. Where is the price? They don't even have the price listed. Holy mother! They do not have the price listed for this device. Okay, let's look up Google Slate price on Google. Okay, so it can start at $599 USD and goes up to $1,699. That is without the keyboard or the pen that you could also get with it. Yeah, that's a tablet. No, that's the price of a laptop, like a full-fledged laptop. Like, you're starting to go on to the tablet, like the price for the laptop I have that I'm streaming from, that I game on. Like, you just need a little bit more money and you got this thing. What the heck? So yeah, that's disconcerting. Now let me actually get the rest of the prices for you guys. If I can find them. Wow. Not want to put in information. Why? You're advertising that you have this information. Okay. There we go. If you want to get the $599 version, that comes with 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of hard drive space, and they're all pretty much 8th gen Intel processors. The $500 and $699 ones, this is called the Google Slate one. Slate, like the old way you would have written, like actually like on stone and chiseled away at it. So yeah, you're getting, for $599, you're getting all of that plus a Celeron processor. $699, you're getting, instead of 4, you're getting 8 gigs of RAM, and instead of 32 gigs of storage, you're getting 64. Same Celeron processor. $799, you're getting the same pretty much, just instead of a Celeron processor, our Core TM-M3 processor, which is just a little bit better. Then it makes the jump to $999, where instead of the 64 gig SSD hard drive, you're getting 128 gigs, and you're getting a bump up from the processor from that Core M3. You're getting it bumped up to a Core i5, and then it goes to $1,599, where you're jumping up overall from 8 gigs of RAM to 16 gigs of RAM, which is neat. From 128 gigs of hard drive to 256 gigs of hard drive. And then you're jumping up from the processor from the i5 to the i7, which, I mean, is great if you want it as a tablet. But then you have to add on if you want the keyboard. The keyboard within itself is another $199. So, and then if you want the well, that's one of the keyboards. Another one of the keyboards is only $149, and then the pen, which you're probably gonna want, is $99. So overall, you're spending close to $2,000 if you want the best out of Google, from Google's products just for their tablet. Ooh, that's hefty. Like, not even like hefty, man, hefty. That's like, whoa, hefty. But I mean, there were other stuff that really, well, actually, that was pretty much it from Google. You know, the Pixel 3, the Pixel 3 XL, the Google Home Hub, which again I say is neat. It's nice. It fits a certain market. It's not for me. The Pixel Slate though is that's neat to me. And then they also came out with the Google Pixel Book 2 around the same time. Uh, Jackie, I am on stream right now. I am not going to I can't answer that on stream. Jackie was asking me if that she'll buy one when she robs a bank if I'm with her. And yeah, I can't answer that on stream. I'm Back to this Pixel Book. So they brought out the Pixel Book 2 Atlas, which is a brand new version Pixel Book. And so they're kind of going along with, you have the tablet, you've got the laptop. So they have some good stuff, and then they kind of came out with something that's a little gimmicky, the Google Pixel Stand. So this is for your Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL, because now they actually allow for wireless charging, which sorry, Juan is like, Michael is like, leave me alone. But yeah, they Google removed wireless charging from the Pixel devices, even though it was on the Nexus devices, because they went with like more metal backs, and you can't really do wireless charging with metal backs. So you kind of got shafted a little bit. And now with this, they're going for a more glass. Well, they're actually going with glass and a matte finish to the glass, so it can actually do wireless charging again, which, in my opinion, is great. Like, I'm glad they're finally doing this again. At the same part, though, like, it's weird because I'm gonna read a quote here from 9 to 5 Google. They're saying that the dock is expected to work with the phone sitting in a portrait orientation primarily. So that's the normal way how you'd hold your phone. And it's expected, based on evidence that they found inside the teardowns, that Google will include some kind of smart display or Google Assistant function when the device is docked. There might also be some sort of slideshow functionality if you want to go off on one of the GIFs that they've found. And it looks pretty similar to the Google Photos photo frame functionality on smart display. I think that is a little gimmicky. Like, I don't necessarily need that. Wireless charging is already slow enough as it is to charge up your phone. I don't need my phone on showing stuff, using up the battery. Like, let it charge, please. Like, please. They do say that at the bottom of the device there is a USB port and a bright orange grippy pad. I'm guessing that's to make sure it doesn't slip, and the USB port is to make sure that it's able to give power. It's not going to do wireless charging then also have you plug in your phone to it. It's not like that. They did come up with the refreshed version of Chromecast, which they actually had an incident with Best Buy with someone actually being able to buy the new version before it was actually even announced. So they were already showing it off. Yeah, that was another incident all on its own. But yeah. And then there were the Google Pixel Buds 2, which, weren't really all that well received, mainly because translation is not something necessarily everybody wants, and they don't want to spend just to get these Pixel Buds just for that. Surprise, surprise, any Google Assistant like headphones now will have the automatic, have the ability to do translations for you as well. So that's a good thing. Juan is saying that I'm right. He turns off his phone to charge. There. Juan's a smart guy. Oh, apparently sometimes. And sometimes you charge your phone and you're on it, or you're playing a game or something like that. That happens. But like when you just want it to charge fast, yeah, you either turn off the screen or you just turn it off completely. If you turn it off completely, it charges way faster. But yeah, that's it for Google stuff. That's it for Google stuff. And we're, oh wow, okay, we used up a lot of time just talking about Google. Razer also came out with some stuff too. Let me just go through Razer really quickly. They came out with a new router as well for more reliable and mesh networking. It is, in my opinion, a really expensive way to go about it. I would personally just go with something like the Google On Hub or Google Wi-Fi. Probably Google Wi-Fi more than anything, since On Hub isn't as popular anymore and it's not really being sold. Plus, I mean, Google Wi-Fi is just so much smaller. I just wish it came in black instead of white. That's the only thing for me. I have both of them sitting like right here because I'm using. I have internet from one service provider, and I'm testing internet from another one, which is what I'm streaming on from right now. And like the size comparison, like move it, but the Google On Hub is roughly like this tall, whereas Google Wi-Fi is this tall, so it's like this much in comparison. It just saves a lot more space, and it does roughly the same thing. Plus, you get 3 devices, and you can either get 1 device or 3 devices or more devices to create a mesh network within your home to make sure that you know you're. And this is essentially what mesh networks are. They pick up on the other Wi-Fi signal and enhance the signal within other areas. And you can put them around like dead spots around your home to figure out like where you need to probably put this to enhance the service. Here's a good thing as to what this actually does. So when I first was testing this new service, I had the router, the initial like primary router, out in my front room because it's DSL based, and that's where the telephone line is. And I tried to connect to my I tried to connect using my laptop in this room to my front room, and I was getting shit. Oh, sorry, this is PG. I apologize. I was getting really crap tier quality. Like I should be getting like 90 megs download. I was getting 2. I should be getting like 30-40 megs upload. I was getting like 1. I then added this extra mesh, so that this Wi-Fi point inside here connects to the one that's in the front, enhances the signal in my room. Come on, don't copy me with that. That's not good. I appreciate that. But I put that in my room, and it boosted it like if I was in the front room, hardwired connected to it. And so what I just did is I just ran the Ethernet cord to my laptop to the Wi-Fi access point, which is wireless, and I'm getting it like if I connected it directly to the router that's in the front. And that's essentially what the Razer laptops would do as well, with their mesh networking. Now, the other thing that they have, and why it's more like Razer's take on it, is that it's supposed to be appealing to console and PC gamers because, you know, it's going to, and also benefit mobile gamers as well, because it knows which types of stuff you're connecting to, and it's going to give you a QoS, a quality of service connection to those types of stuff, so that when other people are on the same network, you are getting essentially better quality than they probably are. So if your sister is going to be binging Netflix, and you're gaming, and you don't, it's going to make sure that you don't really drop down in quality. If anything, your sister probably might. No, I haven't ever gone through that situation, and my sister lives in a completely different country. Yeah, that doesn't happen. But that's called the Razer Cilia. And then they came out with 2 new laptops. They came out with the limited Mercury edition, which Chris was going gaga for. I think see if I can actually get him, because I see that he's online now. But anyway, while we're trying to pick up on him, he was going gaga for that event, well, for that Mercury edition, because it's white, it has a nice matte finish on it, and it's, you also found out that it is fingerprint proof. So like that, and we were talking like on our trip to New York Comic Con, a bunch of us, um, we were talking about that and how like they saw that my laptop was pretty clean and stuff like that, and smudges and take care of my stuff. Um, and so that became a topic, and you know the fact that this doesn't really pick up, well, the Razer own doesn't really pick up on uh fingerprints and stuff like that, and so the real issue you'd be facing is dust more so than anything. And of course you can probably just take some Clorox, you know, NASA suggests, you know, Lysol, Clorox, whatever you want to use, um and you know, just tearing off the dust from your computer. They actually suggest that for any electronic. I already went over the Google stuff with them, including like the Pixel 3 XL, the Home Hub, the Slate, the Chromebook 2, the Pixel Buds, and there was one other thing I can't remember. And we had just started talking about the limited edition Mercury. Well, we talked about the Razer router that they came out with that does mesh working, and we were just getting into the limited edition Mercury version of the Razer Blade book. Well, Razer Blade 15. And I was just telling them like you were going gaga about the finish on it, especially because of how it looks.
Yeah, because it looks sexy.
Exactly. And then you found out that because of the finish, like it doesn't really take up on fingerprints and like smudges and stuff like that so easily. And so you fell in love with that even more.
Dave had a great video on it.
Hold on, say what?
Dave had a great video on it.
Ah, gotcha. So help me if I'm wrong with this, but the limited edition, it's pretty much the same as their regular non.
It's the same as the 512 SSD one version.
Okay, great. Yeah.
It's the exact same, the only thing is white. Well, silver.
And then I know they changed the color scheme a little bit with it as well. Like it's more rainbow under the lettering, and then they changed out some of the green to black, if I remember correctly.
You mean the logo? The logo's silver. It's like polished silver on the back.
Ah.
Yeah, so it doesn't light up. Thank God.
That's actually something that I've actually hated. That, and if I don't know if you noticed, like my laptop doesn't have any branding on it. Period. Like that was something I specifically requested because I actually hate that.
It's fine if it looks cool. Most people don't look cool.
That is true. That is true. How are you looking over there for Skype?
I don't see Skype speaking on my camera either.
Okay.
Wait, I'm restarting Skype.
Okay. So, while you're restarting Skype, I know they also came out with another version of the laptop, which is, I think, more on a more affordable side of things. They knocked out some of the stuff from it. It's I think a base model is what they were calling, where they add more storage, the connectivity, back detail. Okay, so I know they changed out the vapor chamber through a different type of cooling to actually make it more affordable as well. And so it's a little things like that. They knock down the core processor a little bit. They I think they knocked down the GPU a bit, but it's not. I think it's a 1060 now. But I mean, for a device that starts at $1,600 and is made by the company that's been known to have one of the world's thinnest laptops, gaming laptops at that. That's actually not a bad price, in my opinion.
No, it's not.
And I mean, you're still against essentially getting everything that you would typically get. You're still getting a pretty good Intel i7 8750 6-core processor, 16 gigs of upgradable memory. You're still the 15.6-inch display with 60 hertz, which is nice. It's not 120 or more, but it's really nice. And you know, for a base starting point, that's and
No, not at all.
especially when you consider that the next step up, like the regular blades are what, like 2,000 something dollars.
Well, I would say 1,200.
The regular Razer.
Like they started like 15. Yeah, they're like about 12, 15, and then they go up.
So how does that really work with this?
You get a 15-inch for about, I want to say 1,700. Then when you upgrade it, it jumps up to like 2,000. But the 13 inches definitely aren't that much. The 13 inches are like should be around the price.
Yeah.
Let me look it up right now.
And this is a little interesting because they're calling this their base version of their new base version. So I'm wondering if they're planning on bumping up the price and using this as their floor for the 15 inches now.
Maybe they might. I mean, they call it base, but that's just a name. I mean, it's the same.
This is true.
18. The 15 starts at 18.
Okay.
Well, 19.
So you're essentially getting a 15-inch for a little.
Well, hold on. I see another one for. Yeah, that's 18 as well. See it here. There's one for 16. It's a Razer Blade 15 Full HD GTX 1060, 128 gigabytes plus 1 TB, for 1,600 in stock. It has i7. Oh my goodness.
8750.
Razer, what are you doing? I'm trying to get a full specs. It's giving me the thingum specs.
We're on a mission.
Oh, come on. I feel like these products are moving as I scroll and it pisses me off.
I mean, it actually might be.
Okay, shop now. Oh my god. Specs. Their mobile site is terrible. Okay, the processor is the 8th Gen i7. 8750H. 6 cores, 12 threads.
That's the base one that they're talking about right there. I think.
It's just a normal 15. I don't know why they have to use a special word base. It's honestly just a normal 15-inch.
Yeah, it is. Like, I don't quite get it. And they actually... Yeah, there are laptops with 4K screens, one. But yeah,
I wouldn't recommend getting those. Honestly, just skip it. If you want to do 4K, I would honestly say get a normal laptop and then get a 4K screen and then have a setup and connect it to the 4K screen and then use external GPU. That would be my my recommendation. I don't know why they do laptops with 4K screens. It's just overkill in my opinion. In my opinion.
Oh, I actually agree. I completely agree.
You get the best performance from those graphics cards at 1080, so at full HD. So I
Yep.
mean, it doesn't really make sense
And
to even go up to 4K.
yeah, especially if you want to do like 120 frames per second. 1080p is the sweet spot. But yeah, I'm looking on their website and I see base model on the left, Mercury White in the middle, and then advanced model on the right.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's. I'm not quite sure what they're planning on doing, like with between those, and especially since you could technically upgrade the base model up to a certain point. Let's see, 2 tiers to choose from. Award-winning Razer Blade 5 gaming laptops now available in 2 different configurations. Choose the new Ethernet-equipped base model with dual storage, or step up to the original advanced model with faster refresh rates and available higher power graphics and a thinner chassis. So essentially, it just seems like they're just making something that's slightly more affordable, but well, according to you, you remember seeing the previous devices being around that same price point.
Yeah, I mean, it never was anything like you could have gotten it, but it just wasn't like the best ones.
Right. I mean,
What are
this
13 inches? Oh,
I know I saw that when I first loaded to their site. That's the I think it's on the yeah, it's on their little carousel.
this store is terrible. I don't know why uh gaming stores do this.
I don't know either. But you're
Like they
talking
go with this like a dark layout, and then it's never like usable. It's always like it's terrible on mobile. Okay, it's not too bad on desktop. It's
yeah,
just that there's like no filter. Oh, there's.
where there's a filter for it.
Yeah.
I know I'm looking at the stealth right now, which I think is the one that you're talking about. That's the one that you can connect to the external GPU.
The what?
That's the stealth, which you can connect to the external GPU to get extra
All of
power.
them you can do that too.
Oh, okay.
All of them have the Thunderbolt 3.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. But this one doesn't have its own dedicated GPU. This is more.
Yeah, the Stealth doesn't have its own dedicated GPU. No, the Stealth is more for like business and stuff like that. It actually looks pretty cool. I actually like the gunmetal, especially the gunmetal one. Like
Yeah.
you could always tell which ones are amazing because they's always be out of stock. You could always tell, but that gunmetal looks so good.
Is that slightly triggering you because you didn't get the limited edition Mercury Whited one?
I mean, they didn't remove it from the site, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna come back in stock. I already signed up to tell them to notify me when it gets back in stock, so it should come back in stock. Because if it was like not gonna come back, I don't think they would like keep it up.
This is true. I'm just wondering how long it will actually take for them to.
I want to say 3 to 4 weeks. That's typically about the time that they'll take in order to get out all the orders that they currently have. About 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean that does make sense. So, I know Juan is saying that he likes Razer's work on advertisements. Take his.
Yeah, Razer puts all that. That's why you charge. That's why they charge so much for these laptops to cover the marketing fees.
He's
Just like Apple, that marketing tax.
pretty much like in their philosophy is very similar to Apple's own as well. Especially with like they kind of literally call themselves like join the cult of Razer, which is I've always had an issue with. But then again, like there's the whole Apple cult. Cheaple and
I mean, my only thing. I mean, it's alright. I don't mind. I mean, they still have a long. I mean, they have the best looking laptops, Windows laptops on the market. I think. I really think their only competition in terms of looks, in terms of Windows, is probably the Surface. Because the Surface laptops look amazing as well.
Yeah, they do. And
But they have that like Mac look going, so that's really what pushes them off the edge, and their
Exactly.
build quality is also better than the Surface. So
Exactly.
like if the Surface stopped that stupid fabric thing that they've got, they need to stop that. That's terrible. I hate that. But the Surface Pro though is really really nice. Especially with that they have that like unique cool little bend thing. Oh man, that's insane.
I I was talking about the Surface Pros earlier. Well, the Surface and the Surface Pros earlier in comparison to like Google's Slate tablet and the Chromebook a little bit. But I like the design on all of them. Like those look premium from the looks of things. Like the stuff that's coming out as of this year and the Surface Book stuff that's already been out. I'm digging that. And then like I said, Razer has been known to be making like high quality, thin, premium, metal cased laptop. And like you said, like they go for the people that would go for MacBook.
Yeah.
This is just running Windows instead, so you have
They
your pick of the
refurbish
pick.
stuff from a lot of stock. This is what a waste. I was like, oh man, what about refurbished? Nah, out of stock. But I'm really glad they reduced the bezels though, because the bezels were killing me on all of their older laptops. Like
Hmm.
if you look at the old Razer Blade Pros. Whoa, why is this so much?
What?
I think these are new. Because I looked at the price and the price is like 3,700, and I'm like, whoa,
Whoa!
whoa, it's a 4K though.
Ah, okay, yeah, that kind of explains it. Uh,
Yeah, GTX 1080 4K.
yeah, no. Juan is asking if Apple has gaming laptops similar to these Razer Beasts. The answer is no.
Um, Apple doesn't have gaming anything. Apple is in such. If you like gaming and you get Apple, you're dead in the water. Like your only choice at that point is literally boot camp.
Yep. The the
So
only
it's a complete waste.
the only thing that's been kind of known to be slightly good with gaming is I should really shouldn't use the term slightly. They've actually been pretty good with gaming is the iPhones, like the mobile games that are actually built.
But even then, Razer phone kind of tops them. But that's. I mean, most games now are multi-platform anyway. The good
Exactly.
stuff.
And Razer actually came out with a new phone as well, the Razer Blade 2. Sorry, the Razer Phone 2.
Yeah, which
Which
looks really nice.
I mean, this one is a little weird for me because the design's pretty much the same, and it seems like okay, Google did a slight bump with their stuff with to you cancel. Um, they did a slight thing with their
God, my phone can't hear you. Oh man, I'm so glad my phone can't hear you right now.
um, they did a slight bump with their stuff, and then it seems like Razer phone did a slight bump with their stuff as well.
Razer enemies? You mean Razer competitors or people who come? No one really competes with Razer in terms of phones. But gaming laptops. Who has nice laptops? MSI tends to have nice laptops, and they also do gaming. But I find that their build quality, even though it looks nice, their build quality doesn't seem to be as good.
Yeah,
Um, the Predator has a limited edition out that looks amazing, but it doesn't have the professional look. But it does look amazing.
yeah.
But it doesn't have that professional look to it. They also have a limited edition white version, which is crazy. I think they're the best limited edition package because their white version comes with matching mouse and matching headphones, and it's white trim gold, and it is sexy. It is so good. So
Now,
I would say look at Predator or look at MSI.
correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Razer also have peripherals that also go with that Mercury White edition? Like they have the Mercury
Don't
White.
look at those. Don't look at those. Those
Wow!
trash. Don't look at those.
Wow! Well, Juan, you heard it from Chris himself.
I'm not a fan of Razer's peripherals, to be honest. HP and Toshiba, please. What?
No, no,
Don't
no,
talk about those in this chat,
no.
please.
Yeah, Juan. No, we've left those
Not
guys.
even Dell,
years
Dread.
ago.
Wow, HP and Toshiba. Dell actually has some pretty nice options. Actually, honestly, Dell has changed my opinion of them. I used to trash on Dell a lot, but they've done some great. They're putting out some really good laptops.
they're as almost as bad as like Razer when it comes to like build versus brand and pricing. Like you pay for their brand, you pay it out your butt heavily. That's always been the case, and that's why I've always tried to avoid going with these Alienware and like their gaming setups. At least that's me personally. I would
Yeah,
agree.
Alienware is like it's like buying a Razer, but you're not getting the build quality for it.
Exactly.
That's what it feels like to me.
Um, I
And then it looks just as hideous as every single other gaming laptop out there. So why am I paying you this premium price for a product that looks like everyone else and the build quality isn't even that great?
with
Um,
an alien on the back of it.
yeah, no. They
Um,
never make my list of things to like recommended gaming products to recommend. They never make my list.
Honestly though, Juan, I actually agree with Chris's statements. Um, unless you're looking to go like not to that level, like you're fine with a generic looking laptop that opens up your options quite a bit more. But if you want that MacBook Razer look, then
No,
go.
for gaming, I would say honestly, if you want to just game on a computer, if you want to do PC gaming, go desktop. Just go desktop. Desktop is still the
Yep.
bread and butter. Is still the recommended and best way to go about gaming, simply because the parts are easy to change. So, like for example, the new these new graphics cards are coming out now. That Nvidia dropped with the RTX.
Yep.
Those like literally all you have to do is just buy a graphics card, open up your desktop, take out your current graphics card, and pop that bad boy in, and you're good to go. With a laptop, you have to buy a whole new laptop. So, um, and the reason why I like Razer is because Razer, their Thunderbolt 3 port, because of that, you can connect an external GPU to it. And so it allows you some flexibility in terms of like you can upgrade your GPU, but what it doesn't allow is you can't upgrade your processor. So if your processor and your RAM is going to be capped out to a certain point, because once you hit the maximum amount of RAM you can put inside that laptop, that's it. You're done. Like you won't be able to really push more inside of it, um, unless the motherboard somehow supports that, and that's kind of a
That's always a risk.
yeah, it's always a risk because they never tell you really how much like you have to really go dig and deep to find out what motherboard is in it and how much it can really support the maximum. Uh some people tell you, some people don't, but the maximum normally isn't as high as it would be for a desktop. Desktops are ridiculously high. Um and even in with desktops, I mean, push come to shove, swapping out a motherboard is also still a cheaper process than buying a whole new laptop.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, it boils down to desktops are still the champions, and desktop will be the champion for the foreseeable future.
Pretty
So
much.
if gaming is really your thing and you really want to be the game, especially if you want to do like streaming and stuff like that with gaming, definitely desktop all the way.
That's why.
If you want a multi-purpose type thing where you can sometimes game, but you don't want to like seriously game, like if you like the reason why I'm fine with a gaming laptop, me personally, is because um I'm just gonna really be playing like MMOs, really, and I don't need like a top of the line desktop to play an MMO. I mean, I do push the graphics on my MMOs quite a bit because I do install like reshaders and stuff like that. But like no, like GTA won't make me regret it because I'm never gonna get GTA for PC. I'm always gonna get it for my PS4. Like it's just I'm just not gonna do that. So I don't need to worry about that because I'm gonna get it for PS4 rather than desktop. Like I do most of my gaming on console. I used to do a lot more PC gaming, but I don't know. Ever since I got my PS4, it's just like, why bother when the controller just feels so much more comfortable? Um, unless it's FPS. FPS I still prefer on PC.
Yeah.
But once you get friends and the friends have them on PS4, then I gotta get PS4 too. So even then, I end up getting a PS4.
Yeah. Unless it's like that weird balance between Fortnite. So some of your friends are on PS4 and some of your friends are on PC.
Fortnite. I'll leave that to you kids.
Wow, you kids. Okay. um, I mean, I'm pretty much the same with Chris. Now, I have a laptop. I have a gaming laptop. That's what I do my streaming from. I got it. I have a gaming computer right on the side of me right here, which I haven't used in ages. I probably need to like upgrade it. But I go with laptop simply because, you know, when I want to be able to take stuff, I just want to be able to move. I can easily do that. I don't have to be like worrying about my tower. And I mean, I've been gaming, rating like professionally. Well,
Professionally? What?
yeah, no, that's the wrong word. That's the wrong word. Doing a high end rating, hardcore rating. That's it. That's it. It's been a while. I used to do hardcore rating even on laptop, and I used to do just fine. I used to be one of the top 10 in my server back in WoW. So laptops can be beasts of a computer when you just want a game, but one of the downsides is heat. And desktops do this so much better because they actually have a dedicated fan that's like this friggin' big to keep it cool.
There's a gaming laptop that actually is a beast at keeping itself cool. Oh my god. It is amazing. I think it's by far the coolest laptop, whatever. I think it's also silent. Even when you're running it on high. It's amazing. Oh man, if I could find this name. I'm looking it up right now because I can't remember the name.
I know mine doesn't get that hot, but that's because I make sure to give it air, well, space and stuff like that to breathe. And
like, no, this is like ridiculous. It like literally pushes itself up when you open it.
Okay then. Not with your bad self.
The Asus Zephyrus S.
What kind of
GX 531.
That's a long ass name.
The Zephyrus S. The Zephyrus X. I think that GX thing is like the specific model number, but it is amazing. It's a 15-inch i7 8750H. It has a 1070 Max Q metal chassis, and of course customizable RGB keys. And it is an insane laptop. It's kind of weird because they kind of push the keyboard down, and like the top part closer to the screen is like just a vent. And when you open up the laptop, it pushes the bottom down and kind of lifts the laptop up a bit, so air can go through the top and escape out of the back and the sides all at once. And so it is like the coolest laptop. It is so amazing at keeping itself cool. And it is, and I think it's currently the thinnest gaming laptop. Thinner than Razer.
You're gonna need to send me a link to this thing. I'm just letting you know.
It is amazing.
You need to send me a link to this thing. Like I need to see this.
It is downright amazing. I'll send you the Amazon link because I have the Amazon link.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Like, I need to see this thing in action.
I'll drop this in Discord. Asus did it. Oh man.
Oh.
It almost could walk. Juan, it almost could. If you open it, it looks like it's walking. If you open and close it really fast.
He's asking for the name again.
The Asus, I'll type it in chat for you, Juan.
Okay, so while you do that, I just want to go over the Razer phones specs. So apparently they did another up bump with the processor, much like Pixel, which is up from 835 to 845 processor. It's pretty much the same screen, the same 120 gigahertz. The image is a pinch. It's pretty much the same top and bottom bezels, USB charger, no headphone jack. Unfortunately. Now the difference is that the dual rear facing cameras have been repositioned from the top right to the upper middle of the back panel. And the Razer logo is a shade of neon green now. The original phone's biggest selling points are apparently its the 4000 milliamp battery, high frequency screen, which is that 120 gigahertz, and then they were actually working with app developers and games to get their games to actually work up to those specifications to get the best out of it.
Listen, that screen is crazy.
It is. Dual firing speakers, which, you know, a lot of high-end phones are doing, but not all of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, but they don't sound as good as Razer.
True. The
I
main
think few phones could compete with Razer sound.
yeah, the only real issue that people really and truly had with the Razer phone last year
It's
was
how
the camera.
industrial it looked.
It's the how industrial it looked
yeah.
and the camera.
Oh yeah.
Like
I mean, but the camera wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either.
I mean, this year was essentially the year of the camera for smartphones.
Yeah. Did you see the Meizu?
That does sound familiar. I don't. I mean, from earlier this year, or is this a new one?
I think it's the it's trying to be like it's trying to run in line with like the Poco phone.
Oh, so this is a new one then. Oh, no,
it's the Meizu 16th. Yeah, the Meizu 16th.
Meizu 16th. Oh wow, yeah, that's actually the name 16th.
Yeah. Oh man.
Some places just have it as Meizu 16, but Google said 16.
It's 16th. That's what's on the actual phone. It's the Adreno 360 GPU. Can y'all just give me like the specs instead of like all like
it's a Snapdragon 845 chipset.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty. I mean, from the looks of it, it's rocking a pretty good screen.
And all of that, are like, okay, here's what it is, right? It's a Samsung full screen, custom ultra narrow left and right bezel. So it's like very, very thin bezels all around, no notch. Snapdragon 855, like what they have in like most flagships. In-screen fingerprint reader, second generation. It has optional antenna, test antenna. We don't care about that. Curved screen surface, Samsung glass, of course. Sony flagship dual camera combination, very nice. The screen is 6 inches. Resolution is 1080.
I'm looking at this 128 gigs storage and 6 or 8 gigs of RAM. I have.
Yep, 6 gigs of RAM. The Adreno's a GPU, sorry, yeah, 360 GPU. What else? The camera is a 12 megapixel and a 20 megapixel on the back. They have 3 times optical zoom.
Okay, so
the front facing is 20 megapixel, and all that, what we list down, like this is like very close to flagship specs, and this sells for I think between $300 and $400.
Nexus, is this you reborn?
Like this is insane. Oh, and it has a headphone jack and a Type C, USB Type C indicator.
Nexus, is this are you reborn in the
like
the
this thing is honestly hands down amazing, and it looks beautiful. It looks just amazing. It looks amazing.
Well, remember when you were asking about $100 phone, and I was like talking about the Nexus and like these affordable phones? Like this phone looks, woo, yeah, this phone looks nice. Like
it comes in white. It comes in moonlight white, and midnight black. Which I mean, black on everything. That's all you need. The black looks amazing. I don't like the white, but this black looks great.
So I sent the links just inside the chat, so in case anyone inside the chat wants to take a look at this. Like, this phone is actually really nice. Yeah, like this is like iPhone Pixel Note 9 kind of really nice looking quality. For
And
that
the
price,
build
though.
quality is amazing. It's also, I think, I want to say it's also wireless charging because it has a glass back.
How much is it again? Juan's asking.
It's between $300 and $400.
Razer 16 wireless.
Not. It shouldn't have
Will
eight. I think it
it
has
will
six.
have it will have
Oh
wireless
yeah, six
charging?
or eight. Yeah, you're right. 6 or 8. It's
Yeah,
6 or 8.
yeah. They have two versions. One, the 128 gig, have 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, and then they have the 64 gig version, which has 4
With
gigs of RAM.
yeah, 6 gigs of RAM for the 64, and 8 gigs of RAM for the 128. Yeah.
Ah, okay. But yeah, from what I'm seeing here, yeah, that's gonna have wireless charging, and top version will support NFC. So, yeah, that's good. I didn't think anything would really come out and like challenge the Poco phone like within this year. I was wrong.
These Chinese people.
I was wrong. Oh, so I'm taking a look.
Yeah, it starts at I need a conversion.
While we're looking at that, the Razer phone, some extra changes is that it's water resistant.
Yeah, it starts at $350.
Not bad. Not bad.
Actually, it might be cheaper. Hold on. I'm looking at the global version for the 6. Yeah, that's the 6 gig. The 6 gig global version is $350.
That's not bad. Um, and the other thing is that the Razer Phone 2 can now do wireless charging too, because of its glass back. Yes, Natalie, I'm on YouTube, so you can head over there as well. I posted that link earlier. I don't know if Juan could probably help you out with that.
Oh, one's on YouTube.
Yeah, because I don't have it in my chat anymore. It's... Oh, I found it. I found it. There you go. Hold on just 1 sec. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're on YouTube. Okay, great. Um, yeah. I mean, overall though, I'm a little bit surprised based on like this new phone. I am a little disappointed in the slight bumps and upgrades within the Pixel 3 category and the Razer Phone 2.
Wait, what do you mean?
No, I'm saying like I'm surprised by like the phone that you mentioned, the Meizu 16th,
Oh,
actually becoming like a competitor for the Poco phone. But at the same point, like higher like phones that get more recognition, like the Pixel 3 and the Razer Phone 2, like their versions that came out this year are just like small little bumps. Like they're not necessarily noteworthy, especially since what I mentioned earlier for the Pixel. A lot of the stuff that's coming out with this new Pixel 3 is coming out with the Pixel 2. So,
well, I mean, I don't know because I've heard mixed reviews on that. I've heard some people say that it is, and then I've heard Google say that it's not. Like I've heard Google say that it is, but then I've heard other people say that like it's not, and so I don't know. Like I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard some people say it I've heard Google say it is, but then I've also heard other Google sources say no, it's exclusive to the Pixel 3. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, probably. And the thing about it is, not everything's going to be rolling out with the Pixel 3, like Night Scene, like I mentioned. That when you get the Pixel 3, that's not going to be on it like from the get go.
I mean, the Pixel 3 is a fine. It just looks ugly.
Is a notch.
Yeah. But I mean, if they rolled out the options to hide it and they fix those options, honestly, it'll be a fine phone. Like, I just wish that when you turn those options on, it didn't push the notifications and time and all like that status bar. I wish it didn't push it down. It does push it down. I wish it didn't do that.
Same.
I wish it just stayed up there and just like filled in with black. That would be solid. That would be great. That would make that phone honestly a million times better.
They just need to. They do need to fix that developer option to like fill that up and like kind of disable the notch, quote unquote.
Yeah, it hides it. It fills it in with black.
Yeah. But that's, you actually have to go into developer settings and you have to dig around in that. Most people aren't going to do that. Most people.
The people who aren't going to do that are people who don't care about the notch. So I don't care.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like the people who care about it, they're the ones who will do whatever it takes to get rid of it. And if it's turn on develop options, they'll do it. Because it's mostly just the us tech people who really care about the notch.
Probably right. As much as I hate that fact, not that you're right, but it's only really us that really care. You are right. I just wish more people were incensed about it. But que sera, sera. Whatever shall be, shall be. Yeah, I think that... Did Razer come up with anything else that we haven't?
I just know I have for that Mercury White.
I know I'm still eyeing the the Slate tablet, even though that's a $1,699 tablet. But really, I'm probably gonna end up not getting it, even though I want to get it, because that's another laptop, pretty much. But anyway, that's roughly it for this week's episode of MOAR Tech. I'd like to thank everyone that actually came on, including Juan, and even though you're a little bit late, thank you for coming on.
Thank my webcam for letting me down one last time.
I'd like to thank my co-host for coming on, even though things were a little hectic on your side. And
I
then
don't say hectic, more like not working.
Then your webcam did this, yeah. And yeah, so if you missed any part of this week's episode of MOAR Tech, or you'd like to actually watch any of our previous episodes, feel free to head over to our YouTube channel, so that's youtube.com/moarcookies, MOAR cookies, or head over to morecookies, moarcookies.com, and you can check out any of our past episodes for both Tech Talk, which now is MOAR Tech, along with Esports Wrap, which is our esports TV show. And feel free to follow us on Twitch if you want to actually join in on any games that we're going to be doing, or just watch us playing or doing stuff like that, along with joining in on the conversation that's there as well. Don't forget, we are also streaming pretty much everywhere that you're going to be looking at it. So if you are on Twitch, Mixer, Facebook, Periscope, we're on Facebook, we're on there too. And if you just are more of the podcast kind of person, we're pretty much everywhere that you listen to podcasts. So feel free to listen to us on your iPhone, your Android, your car, your computer, pretty much anywhere you can get podcasts. And
iTunes, Spotify.
I did forget Spotify. Thank you for that, Chris. And yeah, don't forget, Esports will be back next week, Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and MOAR Tech will be back next week, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then,